Are we good? Do we make it? Oh, look at us. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Woo!
Woo!
We made it to Tuesday. We had a break last week because why, Kellers?
We were on the Resilient Lady.
We were on the Resilient Lady, but we should start with introductions just in case. If you do not know who we are Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and I am Samantha from Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and this is
Kelly from Fabulous Adventures Travel Company.
Oh my goodness. We are actually your admins of the page and a little bit quirky today because you know why? I gotta say it out loud. So I posted this wacky video that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. Honestly, I posted this wacky video about us being peer runners, and it has over 1 million views. I've like gone viral or something. Like, I don't even know what that's about. I don't even know how it works. Like, I'm like, what is that? So I'm super proud of myself for going viral on a random stupid video. So thank you to all of you that have commented, posted, liked, whatever it may be. I feel really cool now. I feel like one of the cool kids that I've gone viral. So if you haven't seen the video, I actually did post it in here because, of course, Facebook told me to. Facebook said to me, if you would like to have more views on it, post it in a group. And so I was like, well, let me post it in this group. So I did, but we'll talk about it here in just a little bit because we're going to discuss that trip, right, Kellers?
Yes, we are.
Woohoo! So we just got back on Saturday from San Juan, Puerto Rico. We actually did St. Isles and the Seas of the Caribbean. No? Yes. I nailed it.
Now that the trip is over, you know what it's called.
Finally got it. Oh, goodness gracious. And they still have it for next year, too. I saw it on the thing. I'm like, why this name? It's not even like easy to roll up. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Who came up with it? Like, I absolutely can't stand it. But that's what we did. It was, so last year we did Sunsets in the Lesser Antilles. And thoroughly enjoyed that. But I have to say, we're going to vote here in a second. Actually, I shouldn't say what mine is, but we did Sunsets in the Lesser Antilles last year. And then this year we came back and did the St. Isles. What the heck is it now? Did I say it right? St. Isles and the Seas of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Anyways, we're going to vote on which one was your favorite. So, Kellers, you're up.
I think this one was.
Paused.
I think this one was.
So this one was my favorite as well. So St. Isles and the Seas of the Caribbean was definitely my favorite. I shouldn't say I'm not sure why. I have to say I like the islands better on this one. So that's why I liked this one a lot better. I thoroughly enjoyed the islands that we visited. We had like the best time ever. And we did so many fun things that we're going to talk about right now. So if you were on the sailing or looking to book it, do it because it was a gem. One of my favorite itineraries, honestly. This is the first time we've done a 7-nighter though in a long time. So how did you do, Kellers?
It was long. I will say.
I got to the end of it and I was like, that's it. We're done. That's the end. Like, I totally we could have done more, which is weird for me because 7 nights, I'm always like, let's go.
I would have loved an extra sea day. I feel like we only had 1 sea day. So I was exhausted. I mean, we were nonstop.
We were nonstop. That is for sure.
So it's a lot. So I would have liked 1 more sea day thrown in there somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah. So I liked the fact that there was only 1 sea day. I'm a huge lover of the fact that Virgin does not throw a ton of sea days in there. I mean, some of them obviously will have sea days on them, but majority of their sailings are not like some of the other cruise lines where you have like 3 sea days and 2 ports on a 7-night sailing. I'm exaggerating, but it is sort of feels like that. But Virgin does not. So you get like 1 sea day and you're really at the port. So it's almost like being on a yacht where it's basically you're at port. So like Kelly was saying, though, it does make for a very tiresome trip because you're constantly going. However, if you've been to some of those, maybe you don't go. So like I've been to St. Lucia and St. Martin. I could have saved myself a lot of grief in St. Martin if we hadn't gotten off the ship, but we did because we did something super fun, I think. We went to a resort and just hung out and chilled. But yeah, when you have those ports, I did see a lot of people stay on board for St. Martin. They were at the pool when I walked by to get towels and stuff. So I thought that was interesting that but I can understand because that's a pretty well visited port, I would assume, because I've been there twice, I think, at this point. Let's see, where else did we go? So the first time, so we flew into San Juan, and we stayed at Hotel Rumbao again, which highly recommend. It is no longer the money pit. It is absolutely beautiful. I took a picture of the staircase, and I didn't take a picture of my room, though. My room was very nice. It wasn't the typical room, so I didn't want anyone to be like, "Oh, that room's great," because it's not the same one. But the rooms were great last time we were there. We were there last year. But we actually hired a driver in San Juan. He picked us up from the airport, and then he said, "Where do you guys want to go?" And so on the plane, we had done like a bunch of research, and we were like, "Where do we want to go?" So we're like, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's go to the Bacardi rum factory. Let's go see the Red Door. Let's go see all these things." So we get out there, and he picks us up. He's got my name on a thing, it says Samantha Robichaud. It's like great. And so he's like, "Oh, Samantha." He's like, "Where do you guys want to go?" So we tell him the story, and he goes, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna work." We're like, "Oh, okay, well then just take us where you want to take us." And then that's what happened. He took us where he wanted to take us. But we had the best time, did we not?
It was a good time.
So where was the first place that he took us? He's like, "I want to take you to this place." I want to say he called it Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't.
Piñones? Oh gosh, if you speak Spanish, please know that is just probably her.
That sounds right.
But it sounds right. I speak not a lick of Spanish. Nothing. That's it. So I think he said Piñones.
I think you're right.
Am I right? Okay.
I think so.
So anyways, he took us to the spot. It had a lot of food, local foods and bars, like outdoor bars and everything. And the place was definitely interesting. It felt very open. He's like, "Okay, do you guys want to stop for a drink?" And we said, "Yeah." So we did. And those drinks were really what am I trying to say? Strong. They were very strong. So by like 2 sips in, we were all like giggling and laughing like schoolgirls. That was pretty much what happened there. So we ended up getting back in the car, and he took us down this Condado Beach. I'm probably saying it wrong. Condado Beach. It was around that area. He took us down that street. We didn't see the beach, but he was telling us about KFC. I mean, he was hilarious. But I told him that we wanted to go to the Drunken Cookie. So I will say to you that if you're going to San Juan, do not miss the Red Door, which is really cool, and the Drunken Cookie and the Brick House, right? Did we fall in love with those places? Yes. Okay. So, so the Drunken Cookie was someone posted on Facebook about the Drunken Cookie. And it was, and I was, listen, you say cookie, I'm there. I don't care what kind of cookie. I am trying it. I'm done. End of story. You add drunken to the front of it, I'm even happier. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Alcohol and cookies? I'm there. Like, that's fantastic. Like, some people say pizza and alcohol. I am cookies and alcohol. That is me. That is my love language. So I was beyond excited about the Drunken Cookie, and he said he had never heard of it. So he was like, "I don't know what this Drunken Cookie is, but you guys got to bring me back one." Well, anyways, this guy was phenomenal. Like, I told him I want to see the Red Door. The Red Door was the original port into the island. So everyone had to go through this Red Door to get into the island. And so I wanted to really see it. It was actually right on the water's edge. There was an old dock probably made for like, I don't know, wooden ships from back in the day that were like, barely fit on there probably. And then there was this Red Door that was really cool that you just walked through. And I thought it was really cool. But where he parked, this guy was phenomenal. He would park in just these spots, and then he'd turn to the police officer that was there, and he'd be like, "Is this okay?" And I'm like, "No." In my head, I'm like, "No, this is not okay." But the police officer would be like, "How long are you here?" And he's like, "Do they just want to take a picture of something?" He's like, "Okay, fine." And nobody cared. He was like blocking the whole thing. But Gilbert, his name was Gilbert. He was phenomenal. I highly recommend Gilbert. And then after that, we ended up at the Drunken Cookie, didn't we? Or did we stop for another drink somewhere? I don't know. Help a sister out. It was quite interesting past the first drink. The first drink, I swear, I don't know what was in it. I don't know. I don't even know that they can call it alcohol. I was drunk within like a half a sip. I think the minute it touched my tongue, I was like, ugh, like I was drunk. I was like, was I not? Like, remember, I was literally like, and we were all like, we were just like giddy schoolgirls. Like, I'm like, what is in this drink? Anyway, we went to the next bar, which was a slanted bar, which was hilarious. It was this old bar. It was made out of wood, and it almost looked like this. So one side was slanted on one side, the other side was slanted, and your drinks just came down at you, which I don't think that was on purpose. I'm sure it's just the way the bar warped or whatever. But after that, I think is when we went to the Drunken Cookie. And Kellers, you can talk about the Drunken Cookie and how fabulous it was, if you ask me.
Oh, it was really cool. I mean, they served almost shot glasses made out of cookies. And they weren't like falling apart when you put the alcohol in it. It was still
they were not
nice
falling apart. That's
yeah,
for sure.
It was great. So you use the little cookie as your shot glass. You did your shot of whatever. They had all kinds of different alcohols you could put in.
We had coquito, and then Kelly, what'd you have?
I had rum chata.
Yeah, rum chata, which is kind of the same thing. I don't know, but there was a ton of people there. It was fun. So we got cookies as well. The cookies were phenomenal. And they actually give you a shot to kind of inject into the cookie. And I did not put the shot in the cookie. I will tell you that. I just ate the cookie by itself, and it was good by itself. Did not need a shot. But the shots that we did do had liquid in them. Not liquid. They had alcohol in them. They were so good. They were lined with chocolate. And then you ate the cookie afterwards, the cookie shot afterwards. So there was a lot of cookie shots and alcohol to be had. And I think that was the end. Like, what did we do after that? Oh, no. He dropped us off at Scryer's, and that's where we met Kevin.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So then we ended up at this bar that we went to last year. It's called Scryer's Rum Bar. It's Scryer's is like it's a local rum made there. And he dropped us up there. We went to the rooftop. We had a drink, and then there was other sailors from our cruise there, and they were buying people rounds of shots. I mean, it was quite the fun. That's where we met Kevin, and we saw Kevin for the rest of the trip. So we had a really good time with Kevin the rest of the trip. We'd just yell his name whenever we saw him. Poor guy. And then that's when he was like, okay, our time was up. And then he dropped us off at Hotel Rumbau. And then we ended up having like, what was it? Like we had like a voucher for food. So we had appetizers at Hotel Rumbau. Because honestly, all that we had eaten at that point was cookies. I just realized that's all we ate was cookies, right? We didn't eat anything else.
No, we did not eat anything else.
Oh, no wonder why. So we ended up eating at the Hotel Rumbau. We had appetizers there. Kelly had this, it was called corn ribs. And they were like, it was like they had taken the rib and put like thing down, not the rib, geez Louise, the corn ear, right? And put like something down the middle, and it literally cut it in half. So that like the core of the corn was in there as well as the kernels. So you're supposed to pick it up and eat it. And I was like, it was like eating like a rabbit. It was like, do you remember? And I was like, what is this? I'm like, are you really supposed to eat it like this? Like a rib, basically, right? So what else we had? Burrata, I think. No, maybe not. I can't remember what the heck it was.
Oh, I have no idea.
I honestly don't remember what it was. And then we went where we ate. We had dinner at a rooftop bar. Not bar, but it was a rooftop. Do you remember the name of it? Imara something. It was good, though. The food was phenomenal.
Gosh, I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I want to say it was like Imara something or other. But the food was phenomenal. And it was a rooftop bar. The view was gorgeous. You could see the fort and everything. It was really, really pretty. And then we left there and we went bar hopping. And all of this is in Old Town because Hotel Rumbau is kind of on the edge of Old Town. And then we went bar hopping, and we ended up at the Brick House because it started raining. We just ran in, remember? Oh, no, it was raining, and they were playing great music. They were playing like 80s hits. So I went in and was like jamming in the doorway. I was like, yeah. I was the obnoxious girl jamming in the doorway. And so then everyone was like, well, if you're going to dance in here, then you might as well come in. So then we ended up just walking in, and then we stayed there for a long time until Anthony said, I want empanadas. And so then we start walking around looking for these empanadas. We've walked around the entire place. Everything's pretty much closed, which is really strange for Old Town. We end up back at the Brick House, and he's like, you're back? We're like, yep, sounds about right. We're like, this is where we're staying. So then we ended up ordering nachos that Anthony still dreams about. And it's like, literally when we got off the ship on Saturday, he turned to us and he's like, So what do you think about stopping at the Brick House before we go to the airport so we can have nachos?
I don't know if they'll taste the same without being slightly hammered.
Exactly. And I was like, I don't think that that's gonna work out. And I don't know that they make these nachos at like 10 in the morning. I feel like that's more of a later event
Right.
because it was 10 in the morning. So that's what we said to him to stop him from going back to the Brick House. We were like, but I think that he's gonna be making a trip back to San Juan just to eat these nachos. Right? I mean, don't you see
They
that
were
for
good.
that in your future?
Yeah, they were definitely good. I don't know if they're worth a flight to San Juan for, but
So either, but he has been dreaming of these nachos since. So then there was a theme that went for the rest of the week that we everywhere we went, we're like, "Do you have nachos?" I mean, literally, it doesn't matter where we showed up, we'd be like, "Nachos? No, yeah, we'll move on. Nachos? No, okay, fine." So we literally ate nachos, and sometimes we actually created them on our own. Like if they were like, we were at this one place called the Tree House, and they served nachos, but it was literally just chips and cheese. And so but they had tacos with the beef, right? The normal ground beef. So we were like, can you just make them with the cheese on top and then throw the beef on top of there and then they're nachos? And they were kind of like, huh? We were like, yeah, that's what we want. So they ended up doing it and they were like, this is kind of cool. Thanks for telling us, which we thought was funny. We were like, wait, really? But so yeah, we did really go on a hunt for nachos for the rest of the week, which was very strange. But that was the Brick House that night. The next morning we ate for a very long breakfast at the hotel. If you remember correctly, the breakfast took forever. We couldn't figure that one out for the life of us. And then we got on board. So we did board, for those of you that are wondering, we did board it. Well, I'm sorry, not board. We dropped off our luggage at 11, but you can drop it off at 9:30. We dropped it off at 11 when the hotel kicked us out of the room, and dropped our luggage off. Didn't get checked in because it was broke, remember?
Yep.
So we did not check in. And then what did we do after that?
We went to the bar.
Oh, we did. Which one? Did we go? Shoot, where did we go?
We
Oh, we went on a hunt for the second bar. We never found it. Right? Yeah, we never found the second bar, but we ended up in a cigar bar.
Right.
That had air conditioning, smelled like cigars, definitely, because it was a cigar bar. But it was nice and swanky, so we enjoyed that. And we stopped at one other bar, though, remember? Oh, we ended up in the empanada place first.
Yep.
And nobody had empanadas, though, because we'd just eaten breakfast. So, and then we ended up at the other place. And then we walked back to the ship at about 1. We actually ran
back to the ship.
We did. We did run back to the ship. So we didn't realize how late it was. And so we were running back to the ship because we wanted to get, another rose, all those things that, you should do on Resilient. And thankfully we had some friends on board that grabbed it for us. And we still ran back to the ship to get all the other things. And then we got on board very quickly and very easily. Well, it did take me a little bit because check-in was weird. Like it took forever. Where were you guys? Oh, you had to go somewhere.
Walgreens.
Well, you went to Walgreens for chips and dip. That's right. And then I got on board very quickly. You get on board on deck 6, not on 7 in San Juan. It's deck 6. I forgot about that. And then ran around doing things, trying to get all the things. And then we just went from there. Met everybody. Met our group at Loose Cannon and whatnot, right?
Yep.
So then the next day was Tortola. So we try to book some Virgin excursions and try to do our own thing because if you follow us and listen to me, I don't love big groups. I don't love I don't love to be with a lot of people. I like to kind of be on my own and in charge of it. So, but we try to do it so that we can tell you guys about it. But we did the Virgin baths, Virgin Gorda, with Virgin Voyages. Wow, that was a lot of virgins. And so it sold out. The excursion sold out. So we will tell you that it sold out. But then when we got there was like, how many people, Kelly? It was 100. She said 100.
Yeah,
Didn't
she
say
said
100?
100.
So there was like 100 people on this excursion, which again is not my idea of a good time. So they put you on this ferry that you have to go all the way to Virgin Gorda, which is pretty far. It's a 45-minute boat ride. And you do pass Necker Island and Mosquito Island, which is kind of cool. So you get to see those. And then you get to Virgin Gorda, and they give you a welcome drink and a buffet. The buffet was phenomenal, but none of us were hungry because we had just eaten lunch or breakfast. Sorry. We just eaten breakfast. So I didn't eat. Kelly didn't eat. None of us ate. We did try a tiny bit because there was mac and cheese, and I'm a huge fan of mac and cheese. So we tried mac and cheese. What else? The potato salad
Mm-hmm.
and the rice.
It was rice. Yes.
Yes. We tried all of that. But at this point, just so you guys know, Kelly sounds like Katharine Hepburn. She had no voice whatsoever, and it was hysterical. So we were calling her Katharine Hepburn, and we were telling her that she needed to stop talking. But Kelly had actually been to the baths already. So when she was on Necker Island, she had actually taken the excursion over there. So it was cool because she was kind of our tour guide, which was nice. So then after that, they load you onto these safari type trucks. And there's like, I mean, how many of them were there? Like five
Probably
or six?
Like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they load you onto these safari trucks that are open air. Everything's open. And they take you up over, I mean, these hills are like this. Like I was petrified. They take you up over these mountains and hills, but the view was gorgeous. The pictures that we took were amazing, and they kind of just show you the island. It was absolutely beautiful. So you go do all that, and then you end up at the beach where the baths are. So then when you get there, they kind of explain that you can go to the beach and chill and hang out, and then go through the baths. But once you do it, it's a loop, and you can't go back. So there's an exit, and there's a man that's sitting by the exit to not let you go back into the baths the wrong way, because it is a one-way street on those baths. And so we went and saw the beach, got in the water for like, not even the water, we just put our feet in, and then said, okay, let's go on the baths. So we left, and Kelly was the tour guide, and it was fun. It was super fun. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, but I was super mad that I didn't wear my Hey Metas because I had my phone, and I was the dork with the phone trying to hold on to the rope and go with the phone, like going up, scaling the mountain, basically, or I should say the rock, with my phone trying to take pictures. So that wasn't the smartest thing. I should have worn my Hey Metas, and you forgot your Hey Metas. So.
I know.
But it was really cool. I loved it. I thought it was really, really cool. And then that was it. It was very short. I didn't expect it to be that short. We didn't explore it though that much. We just kind of followed the
arrows.
Yeah, the arrows. There were arrows that were painted on the rocks and stuff. And I was like, which way shall we go? Oh, it's this way. But it was really cool. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful and super fun. And then at the end, there was another beach. And that's where Kelly said, and I'll let you tell that part, that's how you started, right?
Yes. So when we came in from Necker, they took us in by boat. And they tell you have to be a strong swimmer because you swim quite a distance. I'm not a good judge of distance, but
no, it was far. When you showed it to me, I was like, oh.
Yeah. So
and it was not calm.
No, but with our excursion, we came in by bus, so we came in on the other side. But when I went in the first time, we came in by the water, so we had to swim.
Yeah, which was crazy. I couldn't believe that. And so then we went and we got a drink from this little local bar there, and then we ended up just walking up the hill, and hanging out at the bar really quickly while we waited to get back on the safari trucks to take us back to the port, not our port, but the port where the ferry was waiting. And then we got on the ferry and then took the 45-minute trip home. On the way home, they gave us a shot of rum, very warm rum. So by the time we got off the ferry, we were feeling no pain, and we stopped at another bar
And had
8 nachos. Oh my gosh, 8 nachos, and then got on the ship, right?
Yep.
Oh no,
Well,
met some more clients, had a shot, and then got on the ship.
yep.
Coconuts, had a shot at coconuts.
Yep.
And then shoot, and then what did we do that night? We ate at Gun Bay, didn't we? Were we
Yes.
Gun Bay. So we ate at Gun Bay that night. Then the next day was Sea Day because we were headed down to Barbados. So we did our normal. We did Loteria with the group. What else did we do on Sea Day? Oh, we did the chocolate thing. We did the brand new chocolate thing.
We did.
So we made chocolate, which was crazy, super fun. They taught you a lot about chocolate, and they gave you all the fixings for the chocolate. And then they taught you how to make. What was it? They taught you how to make.
I don't have it either.
There was a name for it, but anyways, there was little disc things that you just put toppings on, and I'm sure there's a very, very fabulous name for it, but we don't know what it is. And then we also made, wow, we learned a lot. Crunchy balls. I don't know. What were they? Wow, we learned names of everything. No, so basically they gave us chocolate in a bag. So you squeeze the bag, you made the little discs, you put whatever toppings you want on it. So they had nuts and Rice Krispies and salt and
waffle cone.
Waffle cone, that's what it was. Thank you.
Raisins.
And that's really, and these little chocolate balls. Yeah. And so you can put that all in the chocolate. And then the last thing was you had a bowl and you put in whatever you wanted to mix these, like almost like oh gosh, what else called? Like a cluster. It's like a cluster, right? It's probably the best way to explain it. So I put all my Rice Krispies in there because I don't really like nuts. And so I put all my Rice Krispies in there and then just squeezed all the chocolate on there and then mixed it all up. And then you're supposed to like put it on your plate and then they stick it in the fridge and cool it off and stuff. So we made chocolate, super fun, but they do not let you take the chocolate with you. So you have to shovel it all in right there. And it's a lot of chocolate. So no one's shoveling in all that chocolate. Even Sweet Tooth McGee over here couldn't get in all that chocolate. Not to mention we did it at like 10 a.m., right? Like what time was this event? Right. It was like at 10:30, I'm eating chocolate. So, so we did not eat all the chocolate, but they also give you a glass. They gave you a welcome drink because it was Choco Lit, as in L-I-T. So Choco Lit. So they gave you a welcome drink of like a bourbon of some sort, which was actually really good. And I don't even like that stuff. It was sweet. They made it very, very sweet. And then they gave you, what was the wine? They gave us wine.
Cabernet, I think.
It was a Cabernet. So, and it paired well with the chocolate, obviously. So that was cool. We did that. Then we did Loteria. And then what else did we do? Is that it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, we hung out at Richard's Rooftop every night.
Yeah, we did do the Richard's Rooftop every night. We did the what's it called? Oh my gosh, happy hour every night there. I actually had a foot massage on Sea Day. And then that was my Sea Day. And then the next day we were in Barbados. And friends of ours or friends/clients, they're now friends. We had hired a private guide in Barbados and we kind of tagged along there and had the best time. Like, I don't even know what the heck we did. We stopped at more beaches and beautiful beaches. And then we ended up at a gorgeous, oh my gosh, the food was phenomenal at that place. It's called Local and Co. So Local and Company, but Local and Co was actually the name of it. The food was phenomenal and the place was really, really cute. And then we ended up at the Boatyard, which I don't suggest at all and would never, ever go back ever again. Honestly, there's so many better beaches. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Kelly?
I mean, I thought it was pretty expensive for the time that we spent there. I think, if you go for the day and you don't care, it's a beach,
It
you
is.
have an umbrella, you have chairs, there's a bar. We didn't eat there. We all had one drink because we got
came with it
free drink with our admission fee. But I mean, we didn't get to experience. They have a swim with the turtles. They have a boat ride. They have things that you can do there.
That's true. You're right. There was more to it. We didn't get to experience all that, but it was commercialized. So it was not relaxing at all. They were always yelling about the cruise ship, going back to the cruise ship. And they're just yelling, Samantha, your food's ready. Like it was like blasted everywhere. There was no relaxing. Definitely not. So if you're going for a relaxing, beautiful beach, that is not it. Kelly did say that she had fish jump over her head.
We did see lots of schools of little tiny fish, like little minnows, and they would just all jump out of the water at the same time. And at one point, a wave came up and they literally jumped over Becky's head. I wish I filmed it. I did have my metas on, but it was too quick. It just happened so fast. And I was like, oh my God, fish just literally jumped over your head.
I can't even with that because I would die, as we all know. So I was asleep. I was totally asleep on the chaise lounge, missing all of the action. Thank goodness. I was relaxing, which is nice. And then we left there. I don't know what we had for dinner. Oh, and we might have had Razzle Dazzle that night. Either way, if we had Razzle Dazzle that night, it was amazing. Like Razzle Dazzle is becoming my new favorite restaurant. I used to hate it. Now I love it because the food is just so good. So Kelly, what did you have?
I had the beet ravioli.
Oh, the beets are so good. And then the cauliflower and
the carrots.
And then we had the corn, remember? We had the corn. The corn was a Valentine's dish, but it was not that good.
It was like a pierogi. Mm-hmm. It was like a tiny little dumpling with a couple pieces of corn inside.
And they were whole kernel corns inside. Yeah. It was so weird. I'm like, I'm having a moment back at the rib. Yeah. So yeah, that was a no-go on our part. But the next day where was the next day? St. Lucia? I think it was actually. St. Lucia?
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was St. Lucia. Right? Because we did Tortola, Barbados, St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin. Yeah, so St. Lucia. Yes. So we did a private catamaran there with the group. And so we all, it was very, very bumpy. It was wavy, very, very, the seas were not happy that day. It was actually the whole trip was pretty rocky because the seas and the wind were not good. But so we got on the catamaran. It took us to this place to snorkel. Beautiful area, little inlet, was great. We just floated around while the people snorkeled. Not many people snorkeled though. The water was cold, I will say that. And then after that, they took us to the pitons, and they were absolutely beautiful. So then we just went back. And then that was St. Lucia, right?
Yep.
And then what did we do? In Antigua, we went to what's it called? Like a beach club, which was called the Treehouse Beach Club. We were a little nervous about it when we first got there because we were like, what is this? And how did we get here? Because it was quite the interesting way to get there. But the beach was phenomenal. It was empty. There was not a soul there except for the people at this beach club. And we just hung out there, drank and ate and relaxed and got rained on and had a good time. Kelly got a dog with his foot in her shoe. They had dogs there.
There were just dogs roaming around. We had this high bed that was like up off the ground with this dog came laid right underneath me in the bed and stuck its paw right through my flip-flop like it was holding a teddy bear. It was the cutest thing.
It was so cute though. It was really cute. And so we did that, and that's where we actually had them make us the nachos that they had no idea that they were making us. And then we just hung out there. Then we headed back to the ship. And let's see, what the heck was the next day? Next day was St. Martin. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Martin. St. Martin, we were supposed to do America's Cup, which I was so excited about. And it's funny because Jean Lash and Steve Lash were like, when we were in St. Martin, we did the America's Cup. And I was like this.
They did?
Yeah. I don't know when they must have done it on another ship. And so they said they had the best time, and they were like, you guys would have loved it. And I was like, great, thanks. Just rub it right in, rub it right in. So we were supposed to do this America's Cup sailing excursion, which I kept talking about all week, saying it was going to be my favorite one. And the night before, they canceled it on us because the weather was just not good. I mean, it was just rocky and windy, and they canceled it, which one would think would be great for a sailboat race. That wind would work in your favor,
right?
But apparently not. So they canceled that. So we decided to do a day pass at this resort called Morgan Resort. Well, the Morgan Resort was right by the very famous airplane beach. And so I've never been because I've never really had an interest in doing it, to be honest, because it's a lot of people. And I was kind of just like, I don't want to deal with it. And I also heard how far away it was, how annoying it was of a drive. But when we picked the Morgan Resort, we had no idea that it was near this beach. But I thought, well, let's kill two birds with one stone because I'm probably not coming back here. So as we were going to the resort, a plane was flying right over us. I think it was a Delta, flew right over us and landed, which was cool. So we experienced that. We're like, okay, good, check. So then while we're at the resort, we're having a good time. It's raining and we're watching planes coming in because you can't see them come in, but it's not over the resort. It's further over by the beach. So we're enjoying it. We're having a good time. We order nachos. I swear we ate more than nachos, way more than just nachos. But we order nachos and whatever else. Kelly, you had tacos, didn't you, or something?
I did.
Yeah, the tacos were good. They were big chunks of beef, really good. And burrata as well. The burrata was good. And then we decide that, okay, we've got a little bit of time left. Let's go see if we can see a plane take off. And also there was a sweet shop that I wanted to stop at on the way out because, again, I mentioned the drunken cookie is my thing. Sweets are my thing. So I was like, let's stop there. Anyway, so we go towards the beach and it's still jam-packed, but it's not as packed as it was when we first got there. And because there's a huge bar. This bar is massive that's right there on the beach. And it has this huge patio. If you've never been, it has this huge patio with tons of people on it. And it honestly looks like there's so many people that the thing's going to fall in the ocean. But thankfully, of course, it doesn't. But it has that many people on it. It's crazy. So anyways, we go walk over there and I'm like, okay, let's watch. So we're watching all these things. Well, there's a plane. There's a United plane that's about ready to take off. It's first in line. It's pretty decent size. I keep telling everyone, I'm like, listen, I don't want to be right behind it, but I want to see everybody else fly into the ocean. Like, I'm happy to take the video of everybody else flying into the ocean like Mary Poppins. I was like, but I don't want to be the person being pushed into the ocean or getting a whole sand scrub. Like, I don't want to be the sand scrub girl. I don't want to be the ocean girl. I just want to watch everyone else do it. So we're standing there, and we left ourselves like an hour and a half at this point. We like an hour and 45 minutes, but we're standing there. Well, maybe it was an hour and a half. Standing there. We're watching all these planes come in. They're landing. And we're like, okay, good. It's got to be done. Go, United. No. Shoot, there's another plane. We'd be like, no. So the next plane would come in and that plane would land. And we're like, okay, go, United. Dang it. And then we look and there's another plane coming in. So finally, like after 5 or 6 planes, we're like, oh, we got to go. We didn't even look at the time, but we're like, we got to go. And I'm like, we're going to walk away and this freaking United's going to take off and I'm not going to see it. Well, we get to the taxi thing because now it's an hour till we have to be back on the ship. We get to the taxi port or area and there's other people waiting. I go, how long have you guys been waiting for a taxi? They're like, a long time. And I was like, oh, that's not good. So all these taxis are like coming into this thing. And I say to them, I was like, hey, are you a taxi? He's like, yeah. And I go, we need to go back to the port. And he's like, like, I don't know why, but he would not take us back to the port. I don't know what was happening. So I was like, okay. So then this group of 4 come back and they're like, hey, I said, oh, there's a guy. And he's like, I'm a taxi. And I'm like, okay, can we go with you? And he's like, well, I got to take these people back. I'm like, well, we're going to the port. And he goes, okay, well, I'll take you guys, but I don't know if you fit. And I'm like, well, how are we going to know if we fit? So he's like, hey, here, you all have to sit in the back. So we all had to sit in the back. And the people that actually were the ones that ordered this taxi, had got to sit in the front, which is totally fine. No big deal, whatever. We didn't care as long as we had a ride. Well, we almost didn't get in that taxi because we were like, nah, we'll wait for another one. Because on the way out, Kelly was in the back and was dying. Was like, I am not sitting in the back. I don't want to die of heat, because our taxi was filled again on the way out there. So Kelly was like, no. So I look in the taxi, I noticed it was a little bit more newer than the last one. I was like, okay, if we sit in the back, we should be okay. Anyways, we get in the taxi. These people are on the Norwegian Viva, and they realize, we say to them, we need to be on the ship in an hour. Do you think we're going to make it? Because we're now looking around going, oh man, it's dead stop traffic. We couldn't figure out where this traffic had come from. Now that we're pulling out of the parking lot, it's dead stop traffic. And so the girl in the front is people we don't know again. And she's yelling at the driver going, do you think they're going to make it? Are they going to make it? And the driver's not saying a word. He's like, he's not really answering at all. And so I'm in the back like this, panicking. And we had a lot to drink. So I was like sober and like instantly. And I was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do we do? We're not going to make it. So time is going by very, very quickly, and we're not moving. Like, we could have crawled faster than this car is moving at this point. So Kelly decides she's going to get out her Waze app and she's going to type in where we need to go. So I see her type it in and I see her go like this. And I go, no. She goes, I'm not going to tell you. I go, please don't. Because I'm back there panicking. Like, my heart is racing. I'm an absolute disaster. I'm picturing the fact that this ship is leaving without us. Like, we're never getting on it because we're not moving. I am hysterical. So I start texting our Rockstar agent, and I was like, listen, we're not making it. Is there anything that you can do for us? Can you hold the ship? Like, we're not making it. She's like, where are you? How far away are you? And I was like, we're by the airport and we haven't moved in 20 minutes. We now need to be on board in a half hour, pretty much. I go, we're nowhere's near where we need to be. She's like, okay, hold on. Let me find out what's going on. So she reports back to the people on board, the manager on board, whoever, and says, hey, we've got these sailors that are stuck pretty much by the airport. So then we finally get out of the airport area, because we're still literally in the airport area at this point. We get moving. We're like, yay, everyone's clapping. We're so excited we're moving. And we come to another dead stop. And we're like, what is happening? Why are we stopped? Well, there's a drawbridge that lets sailboats or whatever the heck it is into this little inlet marina area. And we're dead stop. So the girl in the front from the Viva is like, sir, you got to do something. They're never going to make this. I've heard that you can order a police escort. Can you please get us a police escort? I mean, she is just hammering this poor guy. So he ends up getting out of this dead stop and goes up the opposite direction, because obviously no one's coming because of the drawbridge. So he goes up there. He gets to the front, about 8 cars from the front of the drawbridge, and we've passed at least 60 cars. He gets up to the front. He realizes this is his buddy, and he's like, hey, can you let me in? And the buddy's like, no. And so then they start negotiating about who's going to let who in. And so he just lets him in. Thank goodness. We said thank you through the window, whatever. We wait still another, what felt like 10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it was 5. It felt like forever. Drawbridge finally goes down. We're screaming in the car, and everyone's trying to get into this line now. And we're like, no. And we're telling the driver, don't let anybody in. Just drive. We're like literally yelling at this poor guy. He did. And by the way, he said not a word, I think, the entire time. Like, do you remember him saying anything at all? No. We probably stressed that poor man out. He probably went home to his family and was like, that was the worst drive of my life. I quit as a taxi driver. I'm done. I quit. So, anyways, he gets to moving, and we're still kind of stop and going, because still there's traffic of people trying. Now that the drawbridge is up, it's people moving in this way and going this way and doing this. But we start finally moving. And so my Rockstar agent's writing and saying, where are you guys? I said, well, we're moving now, but we're still nowhere near close. And it's now like 20 minutes to all aboard. And so we come around the curve where, to make a long story short, which is not short in any way, shape, or form, we come around the curve where you can see where the ships are docked. It is 4:27, and we need to be on board at 4:30. It's 3 minutes till we get on board, and we are nowhere near the ships. Now, what she had said at this point that calmed me down just just like the tiniest bit, was she said that they would hold the ship for 10 to 10. She said for a few minutes. I assumed few minutes meant we had 10 to 15 minutes. So I thought, okay, that's better than nothing. They're going to hold the ship for 10 to 15 minutes. We got something. So let's move it. So this guy did so good. So when we came around the corner, he like went, I mean, the fact that none of us were sick, but I think we were so nervous, he was like in and out of driveways and down these streets, and he's like going this way and cutting people off. I mean, he was phenomenal. So then she still texted me. She's like, where are you guys now? I go, we're like probably 5 minutes from the port, but don't forget that we still have like where they drop us off. You have to like, I mean, the ship is like, we're running to the ship at this point. So he drops us off at 4:40, I think, or 4:39, which is still an amazing feat. I have to be honest, normally, but technically the ship should have been gone already. And so he drops us off at 4:39 and we're running. Kelly goes, I'm not running. She goes, I have flip-flops on. I'm not running. Well, at this point we're walking really fast, but we've been in the car for a while. So some of us have to go to the bathroom a lot. Like, you know, we've been drinking a lot. There's a lot. So we're like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. So Kelly's like, I'm not running. And so I was like, and so at one point, finally I get to this one spot and I just started running. And Jamie turns to me and he goes, we're running. We're doing this. I was like, yeah. So we start running and we're running and we're running and they're back there, way back there. So Jamie and I are running and we get to this, the check-in point where they check your wristbands, and the guy looks at us, he goes, you're late. And we go, we know, and we'll just let us in. And so he's like, and we're like, just get out of the way. And so we like pushed past him and just kept running. And there was tons of people watching. Thankfully, nobody was screaming at us, thank goodness. But as we were running in, Manisha was running out. She's the shore excursions, I guess one of the shore excursion girls. I don't want to say director. I don't know what her true title was, but she was like, were you guys part of the blah, 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 blah excursion? And we were like, no. And she goes, oh, okay. And so I don't know if they were still waiting for that or what, but I think that was the grace of God that got us back on that ship. And the fact that my rock star agent was a rock star herself and held it. So as soon as we got on board, I got a text message from her that she goes, you're on board. I mean, literally, I blooped because that's what I call it. Is I blooped in and my text went in and goes, you're on board. Thank God you made it. So I was like, oh, that was like the most stressful thing on the planet and never again. So that is the last time, unless I'm staying on St. Martin, will we ever see the planes fly over. So it was a one and done. I don't know. What about you, Kellers?
Yeah, that was definitely one and done for me.
Unless we're staying on St. Martin and have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Because the traffic was... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I thought we left ourselves plenty of time to get back.
Oh, we did.
Because we were like, oh, it took us about 45 minutes to get here. We'll give ourselves an hour and a half back just so we're not rushing. And yeah, that didn't happen.
Mm-mm. And the fact that we couldn't get a taxi right away, like there just wasn't, like it took us a while to get a taxi. That was probably 5-10 minutes shaved off our time as well. And then on the way there, the traffic was terrible. And I don't know if it was because it was Valentine's Day or what, but that's why we said we got to go. And we left the resort at an hour and a half or more time.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, one and done. That'll never happen
again.
But now we're going to be
taxi driver.
Thank God for the taxi driver and my rock star agent and
the people from the Viva.
Yeah, the people from the Viva, which we don't even know. Yeah, which we don't even know their names. Like we literally threw money. Like, have you ever? I mean, it was so rude. I have to be honest. Like we literally threw money at the guy. We actually threw him a beer too. We were like, "Here's for your troubles." Like, and we like ran. Like, and I felt so bad that we were so rude. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he understood. But like, it was so rude. And we never even met the poor people. Like, we didn't even learn their names because I was so stressed. Like, I couldn't even function. Like, I couldn't have even been like, what's your names? We're never going to meet you again. Thank you so much for like helping us out. Like, there was no niceties in this brain of mine. It was like, oh my gosh, my passport's on board. How are we getting home? Like, I was like, it was like the craziest thing on the planet. Oh gosh. Yeah. So anyways, that was our pier running, or one and done of pier running. I would say that we pier run in Key West, but that's not really true. Nobody can really pier run in Key West. It's kind of like, there's the dock. Let's walk up it. We're here. They're not going to leave. But you have to pier run in some of these other places. And oh, Madon. So when I first started cruising, it's funny, I used to love sitting out on the balcony and ordering cheese and crackers from room service and drinking and watching the pier runners. And that was me finally. That's what I get for sitting on there and totally laughing at everybody else. So anyways, that was our trip. And then we saw another Rose, which was fantastic. The food was phenomenal as usual. Honestly, if you're on the Resilient Lady, please don't miss another Rose. You're missing out big time. We had the best time. It was so much fun. Did you? I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Lola's Library, we really enjoyed. We also saw the Mind Bender. Was it this? The Mind Bender. What did he do?
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, it was either here or here. Like it was, yeah, it's a mind bender. And then Kelly turns to me at one point, she goes, "We've seen this show before." And I was like, "Oh my God, we have." Oh, goodness gracious. So anyways, that was our time last week. Super fun. We had a large group of 80 people on board, which is awesome. So we got to see most of you, which was really cool. And we love sailing with you. So thanks for joining us. It was a good time.
Yes.
Anything else to add? What did I miss? I feel like
No, I think you hit it all.
Oh, you did? Oh, sorry. All right. Sorry. My daughter's telling me something. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Keller's take over. Tell them the promos. I'll be right back.
Well, the promos are the same right now. Wave season is still going on. It is 80% off second guest. Free bar tab up to $300 depending on the sailing date. What else? There are a handful of sailings that have reduced solo supplement right now. New itineraries dropped last week, so if you have not checked those out, check them out. They go all the way through spring of 2027. What else? 2026 fall Panama Canal sailing is going to drop on Friday. We don't have the actual itinerary or pricing on that yet, but to watch for that on Friday to show up. Other than that, anybody have any questions? I do see that there was a hot topic here that I'll just go ahead and go through. So Courtney asked, besides Lucky Lotus and other dry dock changes to Scarlet, what are the differences between the ships? Looking to book our first cruise next year and wondering if we should take the ship into account along with the itinerary. So all of the ships are laid out the same venues, same staterooms, same suites, everything. Yes, Scarlet does have a different restaurant now. So where Razzle Dazzle will be Lucky Lotus at night. But other than that, they're all laid out the same. Resilient Lady does have different shows than the other two. So we just went over those. All the shows we just mentioned. Another Rose, Lola's Library, Persephone, and the Mind Mangler. Those are only on Resilient right now. We don't know what's going to be on Brilliant yet. So that's to be determined shortly because she's going to start sailing soon.
She is, which is so exciting.
Yes.
Sorry about my exit. I had to take care of some family things. Congratulate somebody about something. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I love did you just say the differences?
Yeah, I just did the hot topic. I did the promos and the hot topic.
Good job. All right, awesome. What else? Oh, we're doing Friends Trivia. I know it's kind of late. We should have said it in the beginning when everyone kind of really just watches. But we're doing a Friends Trivia next Wednesday. So it's next Wednesday. We're doing a Friends Trivia. It's kind of to promote our Friends, the TV show cruise. So join us for Friends Trivia. It's going to be super fun. So if you are a Friends TV show fan, join us for that trivia. We're going to have Virgin swag and whatnot and promote the cruise that we're doing that we're so excited about. So join us for that next Wednesday at 7:30. 7:30? Anyone? Somebody?
Sounds
7.
right. 7.
Okay. 7. Of course it's at 7. 7. That's why we did 7. 7. So yeah, so join us for that next week. What else? Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, join us on Girls Gone Cruising too, because we have that as well. I'm trying to think what else that we have going on. That's really it, right? For now. Those are our 2 big, well, we've got Iceland, but yeah. And then the new itineraries come out when, Kelly? Did you say that?
Yep. I mentioned the new itineraries. I mentioned Panama Canal dropping on Friday.
I know, the new Panama. Panama. I think we have to sing that though when we go on Panama. Honestly, don't you think? Like, it should be our walk-on music. No, like we should totally walk on singing that song, or it should be like playing as a boombox as we're like going on. Panama. No, or when we go through, it should be playing Panama. All right. Well, we're good then. I think we're good.
I think so.
And we're skipping lunch and learn this week because we are actually headed to Miami to tour another ship that's not Virgin, but we're very excited about it, right?
Yes, very excited.
I am very excited about it too. So we're going to skip lunch and learn this week and go from there. We'll do Tuesday tips next week, and then we'll see you for Friends trivia night, right?
Yep.
All right, awesome. All right, we will see you next week, and we'll leave you with our favorite phrase, which is, you float our boat. Bye, everyone.
Bye.